Welcome to London's revitalised Docklands. For centuries, this has been the heart of trading from the UK. And this week, it's specifically the heart of trading for the defence industry as we welcome visitors from all over the world for DSEI. DSEI is the world's largest defence fair, covering Navy, Army and of course Air Forces. 2,500 national delegations were among the 36,000 visitors from 54 countries here this week. There were 1,605 exhibitors and 42 national pavilions, a fine selection of ships, armoured vehicles and of course aircraft. And there were new aircraft as well. Swedish manufacturer Saab introduced the Gripen Aggressor, a contender for the UK's Ascot programme. Based on the Gripen C series, the Aggressor is aimed to be an advanced adversary combat platform that will introduce new levels of challenges in combat training for pilots of today's new generation fighters. Saab's Richard Smith explained.
The problem is legacy fighters from the 60s and 70s, which are often used today as aggressors, they don't have the same performance as aircraft entering service today or in the future. The other problem, of course, is a new modern fighter takes on a modern fighter that's the same. Also negative value training because those pilots know the performance of the other jet that they're fighting against.
Another planning for UK MOD opportunities was Israel's Elbit Systems, which teamed up with Canada's CAE to develop a synthetic training program. Training was a steady theme through the show. Inspire signed a partnership deal with Jordan's Golden Eagle Aviation Academy to provide military standard helicopter flight training programs for both the Royal Jordanian Air Force and civilian pilots.
So what we've developed is a device that hopes to bridge the gap between the flat panel variant of simulators and the full motion simulators. We're trying to develop a cockpit which gives the pilot, aircrew, full immersion in the flying experience and tries to reduce the training burden of the real aircraft.
Of course, UAVs were an important element of the show that was building them and knocking them down. Hungarian manufacturer UAviator made a DSEI debut with its 7-metre flying wing hammerhead. The flexible platform comes in a number of configurations, can be powered by its tether wire to be a static surveillance and then released from the tether with full battery power.
This idea is, first of all, to power this aircraft from the ground, from a stationary point. By doing this, we can have a stationary surveillance device at a certain height. Carrying on from this idea, we thought actually this could be a launch platform as well, with enough cable on there, and that could be also a takeoff mode.
UMS Skeldar's family of unmanned rotorcraft will be finding new opportunities thanks to a deal with Jet Lease. Aircraft will be offered to potential users, such as border patrols or coast guards, on short to long-term temporary basis.
Our intention was never to reinvent the wheel. However, we want to offer leasing services to our users for the first time in their history, we believe.
The unmanned stars of the show could be found on the BAE Systems stand, where the crowds were entertained with a display of dancing drones. But no matter how cute they may be, sometimes they're just a nuisance or unlawful. Canadian headquartered Allen Vanguard displayed an affordable solution for ensuring that prisons, private property and so on can be protected.
From our portfolio of counter-IED devices, our electronic countermeasures, we have a wide capability. And what we've done, we've condensed that capability into a smaller box, which is only targeting the areas that the drones are working. So in doing so, we're going to have a robust, a simplistic and an affordable entry-level unit, which is going to be counter-drone.
In other news, the Oxley Group confirmed it's been selected by Korean Aerospace Industries to develop the full external lighting system for the KFX multi-role fighter. Well, on the final day of the show, DSEI held its first ever Futures Day to encourage young people to understand the value of careers in aerospace and defence, and something that turned out to be very close to the heart of the chairman of Leonardo UK.
We're an engineering society and we've got to make it stimulating and sparkling for our kids to want to be future engineers. I'll tell you what, as a parent, there is no better career to put your kids in for a guaranteed future income than being an engineer.
So that's a key message for engineers and everybody that wants to get a career in the aerospace, defence and engineering business. Importantly, this is not a man-only industry. There are so many opportunities for women. And there's a bunch of women from the British Army that are actually going to prove that they can go even further, even if that includes Antarctica. Nix and Sadie, you're off on a kind of sweet vacation soon. Tell us where you're going and what you're doing.
Well, I wouldn't quite call it a vacation, but we're off to ski from coast to coast across Antarctica via the South Pole, just to prove that we can, really.
Sadie, how far is that?
So it's 1,700 kilometres, and yeah, it's across Antarctica, and we go via the South Pole as well. So it's going to be quite a challenge.
Well, while they're doing their bit across the Antarctic and all that snow and ice, I'm going to be sitting near a nice fire, catching up with all the news that's happening in our industry. So don't forget to join me on that on wearefin.com. Thank you for watching.